If you're struggling with anxiety, I very ironically have a thought for you today that it's going to help you actually deal with this anxiety. Which is very weird for me to say, because it's like the problem with anxiety is you're thinking too much, so you want to think less. And I'm going to give you a thought to help you think less. It's actually been really helping me think less, because this one thought, what it has been doing is kind of like destroying a lot of other thoughts in my mind. And maybe I'm still kind of left with this one thought, but it's really getting rid of a lot of the other thoughts. And speaking from my experience, I've done lots of meditating for years. I've even like taken meditation to the point that I believe like meditating is not like you just sit at home and you sit there quietly and that's when you meditate. Like you can do that, though I actually recommend people to try to meditate in the worst, most stressful environments of their entire life. I try to meditate when I'm at work and I'm miserable and I'm working hard for like 8 to 10 hours a day, and I'm like, how can I meditate right now? I think also, because you can still keep working, so you're getting two things done at the same time, though it really just forces you into a position where you really have to deal with a lot of the things coming up. And now where this thought comes from is I realized after all this meditation, all this learning, all this studying, one of the biggest thoughts that still keep coming in my mind is judgment. And when I sit there and I just kind of listen to my thoughts and I realize what's actually going on, I've noticed most of my thoughts, at least the ones that make me feel down, negative, depressed, miserable, low vibration, just negative types of energy, are judgment thoughts. And it's me thinking that a situation is bad. And it's just this constantly replaying scenario. And I'm like, oh, that's not good. Oh, this isn't good. Oh, this isn't good. And that isn't good. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. And it really just brings me down, drains me from a lot of energy and a lot of life. And really put this thought into more context. Next time you're having a lot of anxiety, just try this idea. Try this out for a thought experiment. Just sit there and think to yourself, how many of these thoughts actually sounds like I'm judging something? How many of these thoughts sound like I'm judging where I am, whether that's a physical location, the scenario that you're in, maybe you're at work and you're judging the work that you have, you're judging the people in front of you, you're judging yourself, the way you look, what other people think about you, you're judging them. And judgment actually is a very, very vicious cycle. Because very ironically, if you judge a lot of scenarios of also being really, really good in your life, while maybe that makes you feel good, it can also make you very unstable. And this is a highly, highly conflicting point for me to bring up. Though there's a lot of groundwork to this actually making a lot of sense, that if you keep looking at scenarios like, oh, this is good for me, 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 then you're also going to look at scenarios of this is bad for me, this is bad for me, this is bad for me, this is bad for me. It's a vicious cycle. And what a lot of spiritual teaching actually is about, if you read a book like Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, which has been a great help for me and for a lot of other people. He also has got plenty of free YouTube videos if you just want to check out another YouTube video about some of these ideas, is that to realize that the whole entire point is to get yourself out of this cycle of going back and forth. Happy, sad, happy, sad, happy, sad. It's to get yourself out of this cycle. And while you may still experience feelings of happiness and feelings of sadness, it's not like you're never going to feel happy and you're never going to feel sad and you just become a zombie, is you detach yourself. You don't say, oh, this is good, I feel good. This is bad, I feel bad. And what makes this detachment really powerful, and again, you also have to detach yourself sometimes from being happy. Like, it doesn't mean you don't feel happy. In that moment, you still sit there, you still stand there, you still feel and fully embrace those happiness, those good, joyous feelings, and you enjoy it. And you may actually be able to even enjoy it even more if you don't attach your ego to it. It's going to help you detach yourself from when you feel sad. And the difference here, like I said, it's actually possible that you can actually enjoy those happy moments more because you're not being so ego-centered about it. You're not being like selfish, me about it. You're just fully enjoying and present in the moment, so you can enjoy more. Though what happens on the flip side is if you're not attaching yourself to almost anything, then when you're sad, It's not like, oh, I'm sad. Oh, I feel bad. Why is my life so bad? It's not like this kind of like sadness. Is like, oh, I'm sad and I'm okay. And the way that this really gets explained really well, great example I love comes from Julian. I think his YouTube name might be like Julian himself right now. He's had a couple different YouTube channels, Julian, RSD Julian, where he likes to say that if every single video on YouTube, every single book that you read promotes, oh, you want to feel sad, you should feel sad. Feeling sad is great. Yeah, feel sad and be happy that you feel sad and just love the fact that you feel sad. You'll feel completely different about being sad. And that's like an idea you have to kind of like really kind of sit there for a minute. Maybe you can pick it up like that, but maybe you need to sit down for a minute and really contemplate this. That if you detach the judgment from your feelings and you just kind of just feel them out, which is also actually works for on a whole nother level, because not only are you going to get rid of anxiety, you're also going to get rid of these emotions that are causing you to have more anxiety. The emotions can fuel more anxiety, because if you sit there and you fully embrace your emotions, what's also going to happen, which I feel like is a whole nother subject for even a different video, is you're actually going to put yourself in the place, in the process of your body actually naturally processing its emotions. When you have this judgment, you have this resistance, what's happening is you're not actually processing your emotions. You're trying to push your emotions down. And when you try to shove your emotions down, they don't just go away, which is that's a very hard point to wrap your head around if this is the first time you ever hear an idea like this. When you shove your emotions down, they do not just go away. And this actually took me years to fully understand this idea, is that our emotions actually get trapped inside of our body. And like beyond like sitting there, yeah, like you like for starters, you need to actually kind of sit there sometimes. If you're feeling a lot of depression, you need to sit there sometimes and feel what you feel. You're feeling a lot of sadness, you need anger, you need to sometimes sit there and feel what you feel, fully accept it, fully embrace it. And that's how your body starts the natural process of letting it go, letting it out of your body. And on another point, it's actually possible that through lots of massive amount of stretching and like massages, you may actually release emotions you have built up inside of you. Now, I'm getting back on subject, because this is the point of the video where I'm just going to start going all over the place, because I do want to get back to the real point of this video. While there is a lot of good points, and the real point of this video, and this is this thought that's been helping me deal with a lot of my anxiety recently, is to sit there and think about how many of the thoughts you're having are judgment thoughts. And I really mean like, because this is also a meditation technique too. In a way, like you can actually use this as your meditation technique. If you sit back and you just try to listen to your thoughts, that alone is a meditation technique. You just sit there and listen to your thoughts and let them play. In the same way I described with the emotions, you kind of just let your thoughts go. You let them process, you let them be, you let them go. You don't hold resistance to them. And it's actually going to start helping relieve anxiety, emotional issues, stress, depression, whatever you got going on. And again, how this becomes a meditation technique is because it actually keeps you focused on the fact that you're trying to sit there and listen to your thoughts. So you're going to start processing thoughts. You're going to actually start meditating without even intending to meditate. So I actually started when I first realized this thought just a few days ago. I started meditating just on this thought. I was just thinking about the thought, but it caused me to just start meditating. And I've actually been having trouble meditating, but I have a lot of anxiety recently in this thought, because it made me realize that all the thoughts that I'm having in my head right now in my life, they sound like I'm judging. They sound like I'm judging something in some sort of way, shape, or form. And they're also making me feel negative, making me feel bad and depressed. So I just kind of sat there, started thinking about how many thoughts I'm having. And this is just by default, I'm meditating in a sense, because I'm sitting there just listening to my thoughts, just letting them go, and I'm not like in resistance to it. While on the flip side, you're also taking power away from these thoughts. Because at least in the back of your mind, every time one of those judgment thoughts come up, you say to yourself, okay, I'm just judging this scenario. And it takes less power from that thought. It takes Takes more power from that thought? I think that's the correct word. It takes power away from that thought. So not only are you meditating, these thoughts that you have that are recurring in your mind hold less power over you. If you'd like to see more ideas about how to meditate, I'll leave a link. Maybe it'd be like right over here, right about now. And you could click on that link right there. If I get longer, I wait. That link's not going to come because it's only going to be in the last 15 seconds of the video. But oh yeah, maybe it'll even be over here. There'll be a video there. It'll be me telling you easy ways to meditate. I think I bring up like 5-6 different easy ways to meditate. Definitely a good video place for you to start, or even if you're just having trouble meditating, it's a good thing to look at. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if I've helped you anyway, and definitely feel free to leave any questions you want in the comments about anything. Thank you.